Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Kelly Loves K-Pop, where I do K-Pop tarot readings. And as it says, I'm a tarot reader. So this is part 2 of my tarot collection video. It took me like a month to get the time to do this again, but I really hope you guys enjoy it. I know I enjoy talking about tarot decks, and I got a new space. This space looked different. I don't know if you follow me on the blog, but I mentioned that I had moved spaces, so this is a totally different room. This is the table where you see I've been doing my recent table readings. I just have the camera up and pointing at me this time. So, like I said, I showed about half of my tarot decks last time. I have another stack here. I don't know if this will be like another 30-minute, hour-long video. I'm trying to keep it about 30 minutes, but we'll see because I'm in a little bit better space to show you guys the cards this time. I was on like my face cam last time. This time we upgraded. I recently got like an iPhone, so now we're in 4K, y'all. So this is me. this is me in HD. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's have a good time. I want to talk about some tarot decks, and hopefully I'm looking at the right space. I'm trying to figure out where exactly the camera is on this phone, so if I'm not exactly looking directly at you, it's because I'm still trying to figure that out. So hopefully I don't have to re-record this one and start all over again. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I've got a stack here and it's just out of frame. It's so big. So I think last time I have a list of what I showed you guys, and it was more of like my darker style decks. This time we're going to start with a few more dark ones that I've recently got, but the rest are going to get a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun and nature oriented. I seem to be into these days. But I also love my dark decks. I feel bad, like I don't know if I should have some like blood warnings. One of them, the Brady Tarot, that we'll go ahead and talk about. It does have some, you know, animals that have been shot and bleeding and that kind of thing, you know, just like where the RWS would have people, this one has animals. Oops, I'm already taking out of the box. Let me go ahead and show you guys the box first. Let me take my book out. Last time was my first video ever, so I was really new at this. This is the box, you know, with a nice little sleeve. I think this is the second edition. The first edition I think came in this big wooden box, which kind of turned me off because I don't have a lot of space. I'm not like some other people that have a whole house themselves. I share a house with quite a few family members, so I have limited space. So that's the box of the Brady Tarot. You know, it comes with this really nice big book, really kind of chunky. I like it. It's like a medium-sized white book. And then here's the back of the cards. Again, like the last time, I'm probably not going to do a full flip through, but these cards are really nice. They're thick. They got this, you know, like antique style gilding. They got that rose petal finish. And I'll go ahead and pull a few cards for you guys so you can see. I know that they change the name of the suits to like horns, and it's horns, arrows, feathers, and roots, I believe. So, and they have like the Thoth style keywords on them, which I've been learning more and more about Thoth. Oops, he's upside down. And excuse me, I've been learning more about Thoth and trying to get into that system more. It's like everyone is facing a different direction. I'm so sorry. I should have cleared these and got them in a better condition for you before I did this, but we're just gonna go with it. So, you know, anyway, I think these are really beautiful cards, and like I said, I wasn't quite sold on this deck until I saw another YouTuber, Lisa Pappas, talking about this version, this edition, and I saw hers, and then I was like, you know what? I think I do want this deck. So yeah, It's a recent addition. Just got it a couple months ago, maybe. So this is going to be the Lost Hollow. Comes in a really nice tin from Pixel Cult. This is the first edition. They recently did a Kickstarter. Oops, my stickers are falling out. I'll get those later. They recently did a Kickstarter and they had some editions left, I'm assuming. Comes with the very small, very thin little white book. And it feels like the printing may have been a little crazy. I've seen other people's decks. It looks like the little eye is kind of all over the place. But that's okay. The book still on the inside has all the information, and that's what counts. So this is a really cool combination deck. I have edged mine in red. I saw my friend do it, and I was like, ooh. Yes. I usually don't modify indie decks because I don't like to spend more than $20 on a deck I might ruin. But when I already saw this, I was like, okay, we'll do it. This deck has two different sets. It has, depending if you like Thoth or RWS style, it has Justice and Strength in all of the 4 different positions. So you can use whichever cards you want. I have my mine in the Thoth style because, again, I'm studying that style. But this whole deck is a combination of those 2 systems of RWS and, excuse me, and Aleister Crowley's Thoth system. So, again, it has keywords. The whole deck is black, white, and red. And if you are part of the Kickstarter, you got a second death card, an alternate death card. So it was really cool. Again, if you see me looking off this way, it's because I'm trying to make sure everything looks good in the frame for you guys, that we're not getting glare. The thing I love about this deck too is if you have Pixel Cult's other decks, they're on this like really glossy, slippery cardstock, and this one is much more like a linen finish, more of like a playing card type feeling. It shuffles like a dream. It feels much more of a hardy stock. I really, really, really enjoy this change. I hope all his, I keep wanting to say his, but I don't know them. So their future decks, I really hope are in this stock, this card stock. Also, this deck is really cool and inclusive. You'll find that it has all kinds of people, people of color, people in different abilities and wheelchairs, and androgynous, non-binary. And here's your chariot in the wheelchair again, and you know, you can't really tell what gender they are. And another wheelchair card, actually, both of them back to back. So I really like that. Your angel in judgment is like a biblically defined angel, not you know, the personification of one. So that's also really cool. The sun has the zodiac signs. Anyway, it's just such a cool deck, and it's got this like punk aesthetic that I love. I love kind of a darker alternate alt lifestyle deck. So this is quickly becoming one of my favorites, and this is like a brand new deck. I think also just came out in the last few months, so we'll you'll see that a lot on my channel. Another new one, although this one I am very disappointed with, I'm not gonna lie. I was really hyped up for Nightmare Before Christmas. It's my favorite Christmas movie, besides maybe Die Hard. And not only was I sad it's a pip deck, I don't necessarily always mind a pip deck, but here's the book. It comes with a pretty good book. I'm not disappointed with the book, but just the choice that they used for some of the cards, and then some of the pips have slight hints about what they're about, and some of the pips there's very little effort put in. So I don't use this deck to read with. I honestly don't find it. So it'll be still in order, I think. But we'll go through some of the major arcana, and then I'll kind of slip through some of the others. So yeah, the full, either that or I probably will change this to just use as a major arcana deck at some point, because Sally, I'm just not happy with how they went. with this deck. And I think it's Sarah Larson is the artist. I kind of had the same issue with the Darkwood Tarot that I didn't end up buying. I love her artwork. I absolutely adore it. But the choice in the cards really doesn't do it for me. So anyway, like, I love this aesthetic. I love this, you know, reference. But let me go ahead and show you why I have some issues with the pips. Like this candles, which I believe is their wand suit. What is this? You know, it's like, it's literally just a pip suit, and then you'll have this little, you know, character show up, but like this doesn't tell me anything. You know, in the presence suit, you know, like this one maybe, but you know, like here we'll get a little bit of what the card is meant to mean, you know, slightly, but some suits do it better than others. And like I said, the wand suit didn't give me anything, and the presence suit gives me a little bit of something. You know, the needles, you know, obviously, like, this is a really good scenic option for the card, but then the next card is this, you know, so it's like, you don't know, it's just really ununiform, and I'm not a fan. The cardstock seems nice. The cardstock it's bendy and flexible, but doesn't seem too fragile. But like I said, I haven't really worked with it. I'm probably not going to. I will probably, if I can't turn this into like a majors only deck that I like, I probably will just give it away at some point or sell it or something. I don't know, disappointment, sigh. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the rest of my dark decks. We're gonna move on to my lighter, more fun, colorful, some of my more feminine energies. And we'll start with the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Again, this was kind of a deck I didn't think I was going to like, because I don't want to say it felt a little light wash just from what I had seen of it in the beginning. It's got a nice thick book. Again, I appreciate that these are becoming a thing, that these happen. I really, really like these more meaty books. But like I was saying, when I got into this deck, here's the backs. I edged mine in black. I really am sad I didn't get the indie edition, because I love that green color that they used to edge it with. Just beautiful. So I'm sorry I keep I keep interrupting myself. Anyway, so but when I saw this deck, and when I started working with it, I really just found out that I do love it. It gives great readings for me. Sometimes I don't like more modern feeling decks too. That's kind of a turn off, but this is probably the one more modern deck that I really turn to. Because like I said, the colors tell the story. It's just beautiful colors, by the way. And it's just such an easy read. If you're learning tarot, this is a really great deck in my opinion. If you want to learn the RWS system and you want something that's a little bit more inclusive, something that's a little bit more, you know, universal for people, especially if you're reading for other people, I think this is a great deck, because it's not very, like I said, it's not very threatening, it's not very dark, and usually that's what I'm used to, so that's usually what I like. But this deck is great. Like I said, I totally misjudged it in the beginning, and I'm glad that I saw other people using it and changed my mind. So it's got a really nice cardstock. It's a little glossy, but not too glossy. It's a thin, but it's not too thin, so it shuffles nicely. Just all around strong deck. Really, really happy with this one. And all the people emote really well. You really get the feeling of each card. Like I said, it reads like a dream. Again, there are some wonderful flip throughs. If any of the decks I'm showing you want to see a full flip through, please just comment. I will happily link you to one. I think one of my favorite channels that does flip throughs is Tarot Oracle. He does great, like really strong 4K in-depth things. And what is it? The Truth and Story. She does really, really, really good ones too. Okay, so this one, as I open the box, is the Moonchild Tarot. This is not a new deck. There's also, I think, the Starchild Tarot from this person. Also, this book is full color and literally probably my favorite, like, in the box tarot booklet. They did an amazing job. But they have the Starchild Tarot, and they, this is like their more, I want to feel a little slightly more grounded deck. The Starseed feels very like spacey, cosmic. And this one kind of has like old, to me it feels like old wisdom, you know, like maybe the other one is like, I want to say like it feels like a childlike energy, where this feels like, to me, maybe more crone-like energy, but that's just me. That's just how maybe my connection to this deck works. It is very much based in feminine energy. So a lot of times I like decks that have a little bit more of a, what's the word, balance balance of masculine, feminine, or have a more neutral feeling energy, where this one is definitely like divine feminine, but sometimes I do need that too. So this is the deck that I go to when I need that. But so we'll go through some oh my goodness, the cards are probably my only gripe, that they're all kind of this like person in profile with just an element. But the colors do give you something. But the rest of the cards, especially the major arcana, amazing. Look at that tower. Oops. Oopsie. But yeah, so just, especially if you like kind of like Egyptian, old magic feeling. It's got some like almost early 1900s or antique looking artwork mixed in with a little bit of newer stuff. So it has like this really cool timeless feel. Like I said, there's the court cards again. The kings and queens really just, compared to everything else, they don't give me a lot, but everything else is just amazing. I love the color palette used. I think the Starchild one is a little bit more pinky based. This one does have a lot of pink, but it's more balanced to me. See, there's the quartz again. But I love it. It's big and borderless, and just with the small label on it. I just really love this deck. I think they did an amazing job. I've seen like the Muse Tarot, to me, that also has this kind of collage style artwork, but I always come back to this one. So I just adore it. The Emperor. Yeah, so I think you get the gist. It's got this very like, you know, Stonehenge, Egyptian, old magic, old world feeling to it. Just really feel grounded and connected, even though it's the Moonchild. Like, I don't know, for me this is just really grounding energy, and I like it a lot. And the box also has that like rose petal finish, but the cards don't. The cards have like this really nice smooth matte finish. So, but I appreciate all the gold and the details. I don't know if you can see it, that go into that box. Just all around high quality, worth every penny. Okay, so another deck I recently got. I waited, I don't know, maybe 2 years for this deck to come out because I love the artwork of Yoshio Tani. I think they're amazing. I wish I could afford more of their artwork. It would be everywhere. But when they said they were doing a tarot deck, I have been on the waiting list for this. I thought it would be like a Kickstarter, but they ended up just going mass market right away, which was amazing and is very, very affordable. I also have the book, the partner book that goes with this, but I didn't take it out. So I'm sure if you watch any like real flip throughs of this, you'll see the book that goes with it. The book in and of itself is also great. You don't even need the card deck if you don't read cards. The book just has all the stories that the cards are based on. So she's got a really like graphic, illustrative, like you know, Adobe Illustrator kind of style. It's like color block. These are the backs. I really want to edge this deck, but I have not found the right color teal, aqua, marine that I want to use, so it's staged white. It's like this linen card playing, you know, playing card style finish on the cards. But again, just all the cards really follow RWS, but they also have a unique story that goes with them, and just is a whole nother layer to this deck. There he is, Mr. Anansi. Queen of Swords. Just like so many cultures. Would have maybe just like to see a slightly bit more of like body style and you know, abilities kind of included in here, like in a handicap kind of thing. But other than that, like really inclusive, beautiful, wonderful, colorful deck. They did such a good job. So I'm getting the thing where all YouTubers start recording and their nose starts itching. Why is that a thing? I don't understand. It's just like you're on television. Is it because we're not blinking because we're staring too much? Is that a thing? If you don't blink, that makes your nose itch? I don't know. Her with her bugs and her dog. I just love it so much. So cute. And then is it the Madonna, I think? I don't know, I'm not good with Christian imagery, to be honest. Ra. Yeah, the Sword and Stone. But yeah, so you can just go through and you can pick all these stories that you know, and if you don't know them, get the book, because they're all wonderful. So I can't tell you how happy I am about this, how much I read with this deck, or how easy it is to read with this deck. Maybe not for beginner, but intermediate for sure. Like, if you feel pretty confident with RWS style, you will, I think you'll love this deck. If you like colorful decks with a lot of good deep meaning behind each card. Yoshio Shitani really did their homework, and I don't know if they were a tarot reader in their free time already, but the way they built these cards, they hit the mark for me. So moving on, we've done what, six decks already in 23 minutes. I'm getting faster. I'm also trying not to drag this out too much for you guys. So Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I'm amazed I didn't show this in my first one, but when I look back, I didn't see it. So this is one of those decks that I was in the store looking at tarot decks. My mother and my best friend were with me. I kind of looked at it, I put it down, I turned around, and they both watched this deck literally jump off the shelf back at me. So we were all like, I have to get this deck. You know, I wasn't sure because I know it's a unique system. It's its own system. So I wasn't sure I wanted to put in that much work, especially I was still a fairly young reader when this happened. But I've fallen in love with this deck and I use it all the time. I use it as a supplement between tarot and oracle because it just adds another layer of depth to your readings. Again, this book is so good. They gave you everything you need in this book, and it's a book. It's a real book. It's not a little book. It's not a, you know, little white book. It's a book. So, but don't be intimidated. It reads really quick and easy. The artwork to me is really, I edged mine in black. Oh, here's the backs. I edged mine in black because everything has, if it's got black borders, I think that's my natural conclusion, is that it needs a black gilding. So it's got a lot of like nice, you know, it goes through the chakras. It's got a lot of nice, I feel like it's like wilderness, wildwood, fae kind of energy. You know, these are the fire, everything's elemental. So it's like fire suits. And then you get into the major arcana. So this is like thought, but she's got like real good like alchemist energy for me. You know, all the aces are these dragons, which is really cool. The water suit, the cup suit is all these like mer people. You know, Earth is like a green man. This is, oh, heaven and earth. So this has got a nice card. It's from part of the me bring it back. Like the courts have like extra archetypal cards, which is really cool. So it's a really in-depth, I don't remember how many cards are in here. Let me see if I can tell real quick. I don't know, but it feels like it's at least like 80 cards in this deck. I could be wrong. It could be even more, but it's a big deck. And the cards, but the cards are nice and not too stiff. It's easy to shuffle. It's easy to handle for kind of a larger oracle size deck. I do have large hands for a woman. I have what they call piano hands, so I can hold pretty big oracle decks and handle them. If you have small hands, maybe it might be a lot, but you know, I don't have a problem with this deck. So usually I don't like decks with like too many people, to be honest. If they do, they have to have like a big scene around them, but this one does well for me. This one, like what they've included on all the faces and the people really gives me a lot to work with. It is a kind of glossy, slippery cardstock. It's the only thing I don't like about it, but otherwise, I think just look at that. It's beautiful. It's got a lot of depth and gives really easy readings. Like I said, if you're a brand new reader, this is great. It actually is not intimidating or hard to work with at all. Just know it's not RWS and it's not Thoth. It is its own thing. It's not Golden Dawn based at all. So it's not Marseille based. It is its own thing. But if you like fae and forest energy and just earthly elemental energy, this is a great deck. Again, I'll be saying great because, like, you know, I'm attached to them. I'm a little bit biased. I can't help it. I'm attached to these decks and I like them. What can I say? Okay, so next is a deck I like so much. I bought it twice, but I bought the Shadowscapes Tarot. Originally, I have the tuck box version. And it's the one that I have open. This one, let me just go ahead and show the deck. The big one I bought for the book, because once I had this deck and I fell in love with it, I wanted this big book. I am sad that the book is not in color, because these cards deserve to be in color in this book. This artwork deserves to be large, but I did. I wanted the book. I wanted to see these cards as best I could in large form, because the artwork is just amazing to me. Like, I just, you know, this is my extra. If anything happens to my normal one, I have a backup. But so I have a little Peggy bag. Like I said, I follow Lisa Pappas, so I had to buy a Peggy bag for my deck, because I hate tuck boxes. Tuck boxes are the devil. They're the worst. So my tuck box version came with my little white book. You can see it's all bent up. Whoops. It's well loved, well used. One of the early decks that I actually found super useful. I think my first deck I ever bought was the, oh goodness, let me go get it real quick. Okay, I knew I was wrong. I kept wanting to say ethereal, or I want to say illuminated vision, but it's the ethereal vision. This was the first deck I ever bought. Honestly, I don't like that deck at all. I worked with it for like 2 weeks and I was like, I don't like this. I ended up getting like the regular RWS and learning there. But when I stepped out of that, I got this deck. And I'm really happy that I did. I use this one quite a bit. This is like, I don't want to say, I have a repeating card. And it's this one. And it's a very specific person that I read on, that this one comes up all the time. I do celebrity readings in some of my favorite groups. Like I said, one of them comes up as this card all the time. It's not a surprise. It's on the bottom of the deck. They're very in-depth cards. The artwork is very intricate. Again, this has a lot of like natural nature energy, very much based in elements. This is the death card. Look at, isn't that beautiful? I want to get some silver ink to gild this in silver, because I just think that would be what would take it over the edge. But you see, this is the strength. Yeah. It's just so much going on, but also so wide. Oh, I love this deck. So wide open. You know, again, it's very intricate. So I really would love these cards to be bigger. That's my only gripe about this deck. I heard there's like a European version, possibly, that's a little bit larger, but it's just a double card. They're like, you know, they're in their own personal hell down there. He's playing with their heart, you know. Just really interesting takes on some of the cards. And then like this Pentacles at night, like riding whatever that creature is. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a dragon. I don't know. It's got, like I said, like fae energy, but you know, I don't know. It's just like its own world. It really, really is ethereal. Takes you into another world. Empress. Justice. Hopefully it's not blurry. It doesn't look blurry to me, but you know, I can't tell. I'm trying my best here, guys. So when I blow it up, when I go to edit, I'll be able to tell. But yeah, it just has so much like animal energy, earthly energy, elemental energy. You know, there's people in it, but the people aren't, like I said, they're not, it's not all about the people. The people are going through whatever's going through in the card. And that's the kind of setup I usually really like. And this 10 of Swords, look at that. You know, just it has a really nice artistic take. Artistic liberties taken, but to me they're all really good artistic liberties. Three of Cups, you know, like I said, it's got like the mirror people and the water suit too here, you know. But I really love this deck. So the World card, you know, it's just got, you know, it's got the Scenic Miners, 8 of Swords with the Swan. So it's not always just people going through it, it's animals too. I think the you know, the swans are in the sword suit, I think. A lot of birds. And then let me see, the wands have foxes, which are really nice. It's that 3 of Pentacles. I think they have like lizards or something. Yeah, the fox and the wands again. I'm trying to find more. Yeah, it's a little dragon here and the 4 of Pentacles. And cups and the fish. I feel like I was showing a lot of swords before. Yeah, again, like the Pentacles with their little lizards, little chameleon, I think, in this one. So, you know, this is majors again, but this is that Chariot card that I love with the unicorns. Just very mystical, otherworldly, this deck. And like the Ethereal Visions, it has a muted palette, but to me, this muted palette doesn't feel like it takes away from the artwork, whereas the other one, I feel like it was maybe trying to show off the gold inlay on that other deck, but I don't know. It didn't do it for me. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people really, really love that deck, but it didn't do it for me. This is the one I would choose if you made me. So we only got 3 decks left. We're doing pretty good on time. I'll be able to edit this up a little bit. I hopefully won't be too far past 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. Okay, so this is a deck I actually didn't buy for me. I bought this as a gift for someone else, and then they decided they didn't want to read tarot, so they gave it back to me. But this is the Forest of Enchantment, right? Yes, Forest of Enchantment. And actually I really like this deck more than I thought I would. And it's got really like woods, foresty, earthy, fae kind of energy. Again, it's another deck that kind of renames all the suits. So this one here, I've edged it in green, but here's the back. Here's the green edges. And then I'll show some of these. But yeah, they've renamed it like spells, challenges, boons, and visions, I think. So this is your Chariot card, I believe. The fairies. The fairy wind. Again, your 2 of spells is your 2 of wands. Nine of Visions. So yeah, this is your Nine of Cups. This is your wish fulfillment card. So isn't that, I think like they did a really good job making it its own world. You know, the wide world card, the world card. Oh, sorry. The white heart. I'm sorry. This is a mirror to the world card. This is your Fool card. I'm sorry. Where you're going into the forest, and in the world card, you're coming out of the forest, but you're led by this stag in this kind of story they have. So yeah, this is your Two of Boons, your Two of Pentacles. It's very green. You know, you're in the forest in this one. But it's got, to me, it's got a really pleasant energy. It's good for anyone of all ages. You know, like I said, a lot of my other decks are a little dark, a little bloody. This one is not. This one is not. There's your foxes. So the artwork's really sweet. Like I said, I almost normally wouldn't be attracted to this style of artwork, just because it's, I'm not sure if it's just because it's like really like sketchy feeling. You like usually like a little bit solid, bolder, like inky styled illustrations, but the coloring, the way they colored this art, really brings it out. So I'm a fan. It's a good little deck if you like kind of earth energies, and you like a deck that kind of takes you into its own world with its own story. Again, this one has a really lovely book. I think I forgot to show the book. Again, my dog is back there. My dog's sitting right behind me. As you know, my dog is like always in the videos. I don't know if I could get the camera around to show him right now, but I'm going to show him on this channel eventually, trust me. So this is the book. Okay, my dad just sent me a text message to call him, so I guess we're going to have to wrap this up in a second. And let me show you this book, and then I'll cut away and I'll bring us back in a second. So this is the book, and it's got full color pages, which is what I wish my Shadowscapes Tarot did. But it's a great book, tells you the full story, does a really good job. I'm going to cut us off real quick here, and I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I don't live that kind of life where I can be uninterrupted for too long. So we do our best with the few minutes that we got. You know, family calls. We're a pretty close-knit family, so I can't really just be like, hey, I'm recording, leave me alone. That doesn't work in my house. So, but anyway, so we finished with the Enchanted Forest Tarot. So we only got a couple left to do. Like I said, I feel like I'm just like here to like tell you guys to go watch Lisa Pappas and Supportive Tarot, her channel, because honestly, when I first started watching YouTube, she's one of the people that really made me feel like I probably could do it. And she just got this really nice bubbly energy, and I don't know, I like her. I'm gonna leave her channel link in the description because I think you guys should go enjoy her material as well. So after that, I don't even know her. I just really like her channel. So one of the other ones she's spoken about is this Guardian Angel Tarot. Usually I'm like I said, I'm not really into Christian imagery. I'm not really into angel work so much, but she talks about it all the time, and I just happened to go to one of my local bookstores, and because of Doreen Virtue being on the box, they were selling it at a very good price. So I said, I will try this out. And it was just a really interesting take on tarot, so I thought I would keep it around for a while. It's got a nice chunky book. So this is in black and white. I don't really even use the book because with this deck you almost don't need to. Here's the backs. They are pretty glossy. I kind of like the vintage photo feeling of this deck though. It reminds me of a lot of artwork my mom used to have when I was a kid. This style, not angels necessarily, but this style. And it's got this gold gilding. I don't like this gilding at all. When they use this like really hard gold, like brassy gold. I like the antique, like the softness of the antique gold, but I still ended up really liking this deck because it feels like a bedtime story when you work with it, right? It's kind of like if you need to like wind down and you do want a deck that's going to be really gentle with you, this one will do that. You know, obviously we got 13. We have the Death card. This is letting go. And you can see it has this whole little write-up, but it feels like advice from your grandma. I don't know how else to say it. It really feels like your grandma or your mom or someone that's really comforting and kind to you is explaining the tarot to you. And I know there's a whole thing with Doreen Virtue, but leaving tarot and not being into it anymore. But honestly, this deck is really nice. It's really comforting and kind to you if you need that. And honestly, if I was reading for maybe an older person that was really scared of the occult imagery in the tarot, this is what you would use. Like, this is what I would use. So even for my mom, who is kind of like a born-again Christian, even though she's not really scared of the tarot, but I think she would actually love this deck if I read for her with it. She doesn't usually ask me to, but I think if I did. And she's got a couple of friends that I think are kind of scared of me and my tarot, and I think if I read with this deck, they would be like, oh, that's not scary at all. So, but yeah, it's really nice, and I really do like the photos they chose. Again, it got a nostalgic feeling for me as well. So, I don't work with it too much in my like everyday readings for my channel, because it's a lot of reading. But for me, I usually have like a little tarot stand by my bed where I pick like a goddess energy, I pick a moon energy, and then lately I've been picking one of these to read, just to comfort and, you know, be kind to myself. It's a form of self-care, really. It's a form of self-care, you know. I keep looking to make sure the cards are not glaring, but trying to make sure I'm looking at you guys too. But yeah, so if you want something that's going to be nice to you, a deck that's going to be nice to you, or that's not going to scare off your family or friends or something, this is a really great one. Like I said, right now, a lot of them are going on sale pretty cheap because Doreen Virtue got out of divination completely. But, or maybe Radley Valentine will continue doing it without her name. I know, like, the next deck that I'm going to show is one of those decks. I don't know if it ever had Doreen Virtue, but Radley Valentine does do some of their joint decks now with their name only and taking off Virtues. So, but that Guardian Angel Tarot actually is really sweet, and I enjoy it for a break from my doom and gloom. And then this last one is Radley Valentine's Fairy Tarot cards, because when I first started collecting, I got this because I wanted something that had like fairy and fae energy to it, and I was having a hard time kind of finding decks at that point in my reading level that were easy to use. And even though this deck, again, is another one that like changes all the suits to be like a little bit more elemental, I think this one actually uses seasons instead of elements. Comes with a nice thick book, black and white, but very nice. It's oracle sized, again, like the one with Doreen Virtue. Here's the backs. They're not reversible, but I think if you're going to read with this deck, when you see the style of deck it is, you don't really need reversals. Again, I like this silver color of the gilding quite a bit more than I like gold, but you can see the chips easily. It chips. It's going to look worn in. I don't have a problem with decks looking worn in either, but I just think if they used a bit softer of like an antique gilding that just kind of wore away naturally, I would like that even more than this, because this can be a little sharp too when you go to shuffle. Like, I'm a riffle shuffler, and I can't riffle shuffle these decks as much because the gilding is sharp. It won't cut you, but it will hurt you. It will bite you. But anyway, let me get to this deck. Let me see. Actually, okay, so it's not necessarily in order, but it is. I have broken it back up into its majors and suits. I think last time I was cleansing my decks, I was kind of putting them in a loose order to do that. I like to like go through when I cleanse them and put them back in order and spend that time bonding with them. So we have like the Chariot, and you can see it's like it's not all like collage, but it feels like kind of, I don't know how to explain it, this style of artwork, but and it has you know, the name, and then it'll have some quick little, not keywords, but descriptors on the bottom that if you're new to tarot, really help you, excuse me, really help you. Again, I really enjoy working with this deck. I haven't worked with it too much on my channel, but I do work with it for me. Like, this is Unity. I remember. My brain is like, I don't remember numbers. So I want to think the Lovers are number 6, but you know, they rename a lot of the cards, not the Emperor, of course, or the Empress, but a lot of the cards get renamed. Oops. The High Priestess. I like it. I like the seasonal vibes, the elemental vibes of this deck. Trying to find one where they've renamed it. Oh, here we go. Let me just go down here to I don't know if this is Temperance, or they've renamed like Balance, you know, Ego. You know, they've renamed a lot of these. Life Experience. I believe this is just a Tower card, pretty sure. You know, like, again, I'm really bad about remembering the numbers on the major arcana. If I don't have keywords, I'm kind of lost. I'm sorry. The Star. Again, these are like really glossy, you know, they'll slide around on you. The Moon. Let me go ahead and show you some of the minors. These are your wands are spring, you know. And again, like I said, I bought this because I really like the Fae energy in it. You know, she's let's see, yeah, so it'll tell you, and then like the Three of Wands, like planning your next steps and that kind of thing. So if you need something that, again, is like very non-threatening, very not scary for other people to see, and if you're a young reader who doesn't have everything memorized, this is a really great deck. Radley Valentine decks, to me, everything I've seen so far, I really like. I love this artwork. It might be a bit collagey. I'm not sure if it's a collage. To me, it doesn't feel like collage, but it might be. To me, these artwork pieces feel very cohesive. So this is, again, your wands. Let me give you your cups are summer. Right. Believe, yes, these are your cups, because this is your nostalgia, your Six of Cups card. Again, so many of the decks I have renamed their suits, so it's hard to keep up. I really, that's the only thing, is like my brain cannot keep up all the time with the renaming of all the suits and the renaming of all the court cards a lot of the time. So this is your autumn is your Pentacle suit. You know, but again, all this artwork just feels really nostalgic, old style. Kind of reminds me of like old Christmas cards or something, old greetings cards. On the pumpkins, look how cute. I can still be swayed by cuteness. I have this weird duality. I mean, I'm Gemini, maybe that has something to do with it. My duality is either doom and gloom or super cute. But maybe not like childish cutesy. But yeah, so, and then we'll do a quick few of the winter cards, which are your sword suits. Now again, this is maybe where I get like the old Christmas card feeling. So, yeah. But it really is, for me, this is nice and you know, fairy, fae energy. So anyway, that's the last deck I have to share with you guys today. So I hope you've enjoyed my travels and tarot, my journey so far. I think from now on, when I get new decks, I might do a monthly or quarterly kind of video where I share what new decks or new things we're into. I'd like to do a crystal collection video and a K-pop collection video with you guys at some point. So I think every month or two, you're gonna see something like kind of reading oriented and more personal for me, because I'd really like this to feel like a community. I'd like you guys to get to know me. I'd like to get to know all of you guys. I really want to just build a community together. I'm kind of a shy person in real life. The internet's kind of like where I go and meet people. So I'd like for us to all be friends and get to know each other. So feel free to talk to me about your tarot decks, your collections. Did you see anything you like here that you want more information of? I'm happy to give that to you. And I guess that's all I really got today. So take care of you guys, take care of yourselves, guys, and take care of each other, and, you know, just be good, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Bye.